This man, this man is Africa's most strategic president. Ibrahim Traore is a symbol of what a leader should be. I mean, everybody talks about how he's improved his economy, paid off his debts, built gold refinery, tomato paste factories, rice mills, housing for his people. But nobody is looking at Ibrahim Traore from a strategic point of view, from a proactive point of view. Yet, this young man has been most strategic in his execution of foreign policy, in his implementation of foreign policies that positively impact on his country. Let's start with Russia. You see, during the Africa Russia summit, most African heads of states went for that summit with nothing in mind, with no plans, no nothing. They just went there for photo ops with President Putin of Russia. They all took pictures and they were happy. But guess what? Ibrahim Traore went there with a mission. He had a strategy. He needed Russia. And what did he do? First, he had to wave off his no handshakes or fist bump greetings. Everybody knows that he doesn't really shake hands. But guess what? When it came to Russia, during that Russia Africa summit, he shook hands with President Putin. He shook his hand because he knew that, man, no joking. I mean, there's something I want from this man, and I'm not going to give him the impression that he's like every other person. He shook hands with him. And of course, President Putin would have noticed that this man who doesn't shake hands with anybody is shaking hands with me. That means he recognizes me as a power. That means he respects me. And guess what? The next thing we know, this young man goes and meets Putin. And what do we have after that? Russia is in Burkina Faso. Russian soldiers established a base in Burkina Faso, and off goes the French. And the French and all the other people who had bases there were kicked off. So once Russia was in his country, then he was able to call the bluff of the West. He could tell them whatever he wanted because he knew that Putin had his back. And Putin was also efficient and effective. Whatever the West could do, Putin could do. That is a man who understands international politics and he's playing it strategically. That is somebody being strategic in getting what he wants at the international scene. Then next, what about Ghana? You know, Burkina Faso is a landlocked country, and Ibrahim Traore fully understands that. So when he took over by military coup and he was sanctioned for that by ECOWAS, he had no access to the sea. His country that was landlocked was blockaded. He couldn't export anything because there was no country that would give him access to the sea. But he waited patiently. And when a new president came in Ghana in the name of John Mahama, and he was invited for that presidential inauguration of John Mahama, guess what? He came. First, he said he wouldn't come. Then he came, you know. And of course, he told them he wouldn't come just for security reasons because, if you had told him he was going to come, people might have been waiting for him. So he said he wasn't going to come. But guess what? He came. He not only came, he came in style. And after the inauguration, most presidents, would have gone back to their various countries. He stayed back and had a private meeting with John Mahama. And the offshoot of that meeting is that John Mahama not only restarted the shut down rail construction by his predecessor of the rail line that was going to go from the port in Ghana to Ouagadougou, it's been restarted. So now Ibrahim Traore has access to the sea. He can export whatever he wants to export through Ghana. That is strategy. This young man had thought ahead. He knew that he was growing his country. He knew he was going to be growing his exports, and he needed access to the sea. So he became friends with John Mahama. If you see the way two of them are budding these days, the way he's friendly with this Ghanaian president, the way he laughs when he's with him, the way he's happy when he's with him, then you'll understand. The young man knows what he's doing. He knows that he needs an ally in ECOWAS. He knows he needs an ally in one of these West African countries that has access to the sea. And he has seen that ally in Ghana, in John Mahama. And he's not going to break that relationship. The way the two of them are budding these days, you will know that this relationship between the two of them, is going to go a long way. And guess how that was achieved? Strategy. Let's not even go to that visit that he had in Ghana during Mahama's inauguration. See the strategy he used. He knew that if he said, okay, I'm coming for this inauguration, enemies might be waiting for him. So he sent out feelers, said he wasn't coming. Nobody was expecting him. Suddenly he shows up. He showed up with guards fully armed to the teeth. Even he was armed. And everybody was talking about that gun that was hoisted, in his hips. He was fully armed, just in case. But he had thrown a lot of people off by saying that he wasn't going to come. That is strategy. So kudos to Ibrahim Traore, and we wish him the best. Let him continue doing what he's doing. Africa is proud of him, and hopefully more African leaders will emulate him. That's it.